Good morning. In this session, you are going to know about the symbolic sequences in a sequence data mining. Here in the previous session, you discussed about the time series data mining. Now, you are talking about the symbolic sequences mining. What is a symbolic sequence? The symbolic sequence consists of order set of events or elements. Here, some order setup 1, 2, 3, some order. The diagram shows that some order set of events are elements, some of the elements recorded with or without concrete notation of time. That means with the notation of time or without notation of time, you will recording these sequences. Those are all called as a symbolic sequences. Here there are many applications involved in a symbolic sequences. Here for the some of the order set of events recorded as a symbolic sequences. Here, for example, customer shopping sequences, web clicking, web click streams, and program execution sequences, and then biological sequences. The sequence of events in a science and engineering, in natural and social development. Here, some of the events in a social development, some of the events, some natural development, such kind of events comes under these kind of symbolic sequences. That means these are all different applications for the sequential pattern mining in a symbolic sequences. And then you have a, because of biological sequence carry very complicated semantic meaning, and then it's have it's posed the challenges and research issues. That means most investigations are conducted in a field of bioinformatics. That means by the bioinformatics having the different number of sequences, different kind of sequences for this one. For example, these are all some of the sequence patterns. Here these are also for some of the sequence pattern carrying the very complicated semantic meaning for this one. And then sequential sequential pattern mining has a focused on mining the symbolic sequences. Sequential pattern mining. So here pattern in the sense some of the information, for example sequential pattern, and then frequent pattern are the frequent pattern in the sense some of the items occur frequently, that's come here frequent pattern. Here the sequential pattern is a one of the technique here for mining the symbolic sequences. And then sequential pattern is a pattern subsequence existing in a single sequence or set of sequences. Here in the right side diagram shows that some of the sequences of pattern. Here the pattern matching techniques are there. Here frequent subsequences exist in a single sequence or set of sequence is a sequential pattern. And then let us take a simple example, a sequence alpha, and then subsequence of another. That means beta is subsequent. That means alpha is subsequence of beta. Beta consists of, for example, alpha having the elements A1, A2, A3, and so on, AN. Beta having the elements B1, B2, B3. Here, alpha is a subsequence of beta. If there exists an integer j such that such that 1 less than or equal to j1 less than or equal to j2 less than or equal to and so on jn less than m, such that one subset of bj1 to a2 subset of bj2 and so on an subset of bjn. This is a simple thing here. Why? Because alpha is a subset of beta. That's why A1, the elements A1 subset of BJ1, A2 subset of BJ2, A3 subset of BJ3, AN subset of BJN. That means having a subset value. That means this is a sequence order. For example, alpha equal to A comma B, D, beta equal to A, B, C, B, E, D, E, A. For example, A, B, C, D are the items. For example, AB in this case subset of ABC. Is it correct or not? Then alpha is a subsequence of beta. Here in the above example, the subsequence, the sequential pattern is symbolic sequence. Subsequence. Here it indicates the subsequence of beta. Why? Because all elements existed in a alpha. And then mining the sequential pattern consists of mining the set of subsequences. Here, for example, alpha is a ABD. For example, alpha 1 I am taking A comma D. Alpha 2 I am taking B comma C. Here, like that, n number of subsequences are there. Here, the main intention of mining the subsequence pattern consists of mining the set of subsequences that are frequent in a sequence or set of sequences. Here, in particular, sequence is a beta. Let us assume you have to identifying the all subsequences in a particular sequence. That is called all subsequent. Some of the sequences occurred frequently. Here, for example, in the Apriori algorithm, the previously discussed the Apriori algorithm, some of the items occur frequently. Those items are called as a frequent items based on the support and confidence values. Based on support as well as the confidence values. That is a something. Here, main intention here is a all subsequences for this one. Here you have a many scalable algorithms. For example, Apriori algorithm, Fpgrouth algorithm, and then vertical pattern algorithm. Here you have developed these scalable, so many different scalable algorithms available for this one. Here these are all different scalable method for mining the frequent pattern. Here simple data mining techniques here. Here these are all pattern. Here how can you represent the pattern here? Pattern is a set of items or subsequences or substructure that occur frequently. Here, how can you represent the pattern here? In particular sequence, a subsequences is a pattern or substructures also a pattern that occur frequently in a data set is called here frequent pattern. Here, many efficient and scalable algorithm has been developed for frequent item mining. Here, those may be a, these are all different algorithms here. Finding the frequent pattern items using them, this candidate generation, and then FP growth algorithm, and then generation of association rule, and then improving the efficiency, and then mining the frequent item without candidate generation, FP growth, and then mining the frequent items with vertical data format, and then mining the closed frequent item. These are all different scalable algorithm, mining algorithm. The best scalable mining algorithm is a Apriori algorithm, and then frequent pattern growth algorithm, vertical data format approach. These are all different scalable algorithm. Here, coming to this one, here these are all different scalable algorithm. That means you have a different scalable algorithms developed as a result of extensive studies in a area. Alternatively, you can mine a set of closed sequential pattern. Here, where the sequential pattern S is produced. If there exists a no sequential pattern S dash, where S is a proper sequence of S dash as the frequent support as a S. That means the support, same support as a S dash have the same support. That is a simple information. That's called here closed sequential pattern. We discussed that one. Here, similar to its frequent pattern mining counterpart, there is a another study also there. What are the other study? Multidimensional, multi-level sequential pattern. Multidimensional in the sense here it's having the different dimensions. Here, for example, item is a one dimension. Here, why? Because data mining, that means data warehouse in the sense it forms with the multi-dimensional data. Different dimension, it's items, time series, like that. The location is a one dimension. Different with the different dimensions, you have a data warehousing. From the data warehousing, you will mining the data by using different mining techniques. Yes, these are all multi-dimensional, multi-level sequence patterns also existed. Here there is a constraint-based frequent pattern mining also available. Here user-specified constraints can be used to reduce the search space. Here that means identifying the subsequence, very important task here. Identification of subsequence is a very important. That means the main aim here is the identification of subsequence. In the identification of subsequence, stretch space in a sequential pattern mining is a very important one. And then derive only pattern that are interest to the user, which is referred as a constraint based sequential pattern mining. Constraint, that means you require some constraint. Based on the constraint only, you will identify the information. Based on that information, you will get the search space. That means easily identifying the subsequence or substructure in a sequence. And then moreover, you may relax the constraint or reinforcement additional constraints on a problem of sequential pattern mining to derive the different patterns from the sequence data. For example, the gaps constraint, so that the pattern derived constraint only consecutive or subsequences with the very small gaps. That is a sequence. Alternatively, you may derive the periodic sequential pattern by folding events into a proper size window or finding the recurring sequence in these windows. These are all some information. We have another approaches also there. That means whatever may be the approach here, identification of subsequences. Another approach derive a partial order of pattern by relaxing the requirements of sequential ordering in a mining of subsequence pattern. Besides mining, uh, partial ordering pattern, sequential pattern mining methodology can be used to extend the mining trees, lattices. That means you represent the lattices previously. Yeah, that means how can you represent the lattices here? If you want to represent the data more than three-dimensional, here in particular cases you are using the lattices, and then some of the other order pattern also available. For reference, see this one.